files. Okay, so today I would like to finish off some of the NPCs. Kind of gonna be just standing around. Hello, Izzy. So I wanted a little character that was gonna like water your flowers. There's gonna be like a little, like kind of like a sprinkler. I was imagining her with like a let's see, maybe one of these like flat style sprinklers. I've got a lid on my mouse. Okay. Okay, actually I don't know what I want to draw. I opened this up, I thought for sure I already knew. I was like, alright, I'll just draw it. But let's do a sketch first, figure out what exactly it is. What am I even drawing? 48. It's actually double that size. What am I drawing? A little sprinkler head character. I was kind of imagining her head would be like a flower pot. Let's see. So I was thinking she'd have like a little shower head, and she'd just be like happily, so happy. Little sprinkler. The sprinkler robot. What should she look like? tail that she kind of stands on. It should be kind of like a weird little flowers. She's got little flowers on her head. That'll do, I guess. Yeah, she's like a little sprinkler robot. Is what we're trying to draw, and she's just gonna stand like next to your house at the start of the game. You can talk to her, because right now we have some NPCs, but we don't have very many. So we've got like, you can talk to the fire hydrant, you can talk to this gate guard out here, but otherwise it's kind of empty. So I was thinking of putting a little sprinkler girl like here, and she'd just be watering flowers and stuff. So that looks all right. What should the sprinkler's name be? What's a good name for a sprinkler? Should make the character wet? No, I should just stand there doing her thing. Marina is a reasonable name for a sprinkler lady. Okay, where are we at here? Sprinkler. Ah, here we go. Okay. So we'll work off of that. And that should be fine. Yeah, we just want the general area to feel lived in. I was kind of thinking about ways I can set up NPCs to walk around the city when we get to that point. Like, we're gonna have a little city. It's not gonna be very big. There's gonna be like one, like a central map, and then you go like north, and there's a section of the game there. You go west, there's another section of the game, and then east is where the subway system is. You get on the subway, you go to other parts of the game. You see Marina here is not actually going to move around. So we don't have to worry about setting her up with working parts or anything. She just has to be standing there, and that's it. That should be enough for her. Dog's gonna get somebody. But we are gonna need our the Morning Somewhere podcast. Is that a podcast? I do a podcast called We Will Not Play D&D, but that's all. I don't know of a Morning Somewhere. Way back in the day, that is actually what I wanted the name of my stuff to be. But when I looked at how much it would cost to register a website for Morning Somewhere, I realized I didn't want to pay those prices, and didn't do that. Actually, this probably should be closed off because Morning Somewhere as a website was going to cost like I think something like $2,000 to register, because somebody had just like bought it and they were just squatting on the domain name. Didn't want to let it go for a fortune. So Dawn Somewhere became it. Light. I forget, light comes from the left in this game always, so we're probably more like gonna be there. Blacks in there. Guess, well, just try the flowers all in. I wanted to call it Dawn Somewhere. That's funny. You did that. Like, oh, we could swap. They want my name. It's too late. I've already put too much into this. But yeah, I don't know if the domain registration is still super expensive for Morning Somewhere. Admittedly, Dawn Somewhere is probably pithier. It's just it's a shorter title. You got less that you have to spit out. I'm debating here as to whether or not we want oops. What's the Morning Somewhere? What's the Morning Somewhere podcast about? Find out what my unfortunate namesake brethren are doing with themselves. Should probably move this all over a little bit. Hello, Chevro. Flowers. Trying to figure out if I want anything on the body besides just like Toon Boom? Toon Boom's not too difficult. I feel like overall it's pretty straightforward. Like it's decent software. There's not a lot that I would regard as being honestly overly challenging about it. I feel like if you can learn something like Flash, you can learn Toon Boom. It's got a lot of like useful tools that might take a little bit more time to learn. But I would say like the challenge level of Toon Boom would depend on the complexity of what you want to make with it. Like it's got, for example, normal mapping and stuff like that. And I kind of looked into it because I thought it might be nice to do normal maps and then have a lot of the shading be automated. But that was a little bit more technically challenging, and I ultimately didn't look too much into it just because when I did, I was still also kind of learning a lot of art fundamentals. And so the idea of normal mapping was a bit out of my depth. I didn't quite understand volume at the time, and so being able to normal map volume is like essential for being able to normal map. You can't just like do normal maps if you don't understand depth and where things are. But yeah, that was a kind of a me problem, and gets into a little bit of like the interdisciplinary nature of art. It's harder than you sometimes expect to just do things. But just if we're getting started, like just doing an animation, very straightforward. I would say that you could probably start animating in Toon Boom in no time at all, if you had an interest. Oh yeah, it's a shame about Rooster Teeth. Like I'll be one of the ones to say that I feel like some of their shows weren't as interesting as I would have liked. I feel like the writing wasn't great for something like Red versus Blue. Kind of didn't know what they wanted to be or anything. But it was really exciting when Rooster Teeth was looking big, and you know, it was like even at the time it was like even if their shows aren't doing great right now necessarily, that was kind of like somebody else could also do this, and we could have like people making their own products or their own studios. It was something to be hopeful about and something to appreciate. And it's kind of sad to see it fold up. Yeah, I would say their writing wasn't cheesy at a certain point. Their writing was just bad. Like it was legitimately just like not that good of writing in certain areas. like I was following their red versus blue stuff, and then they started to get into like, oh, the super cool bounty hunter guys are actually like children, and they're kind of lame, and I was like, okay, did we need to do this? Is this like, first, did we need to have these episodes, and second, did we need to make it be about how dumb our super cool guys are? Yeah, they got really wrapped up into Ruby, but Ruby was very funny because the fandom was all like, yeah, the writing sucks, but look at all the action sequences, and then Montione passed away. It was Monty. Monty was kind of brilliant when it came to choreography. So if you like to see those Montione choreography, that more choreographed fight stuff, like was good for it. But yeah, when he passed away, it was kind of it. Yep, rip Monty. Season 13. I feel like Red vs. Blue was kind of, I think it was ready to be done when they put, Church. Yeah, I was trying to, when they put Church in the AI box, and he was just like, I'll spend eternity looking for this lady, and that felt like a good end. Like, that was a solid end. It was like very poignant, very just like poor Church, but also he got what he wanted. You know, like, it was kind of a sad end, but it was also it was very bittersweet. You're just like, oh yeah, this is a good ending for everybody. I would have been happy if it ended there. I did keep watching for a while, but I kind of don't really distinctly remember anything past that. Season 8, is that when it was? Yeah, season 8 was when they did that. That's about where I would have just like closed the book on it and been like, it's done. Like, that was good. Like, that was a good ending. Yeah, but as far as the writing though, like, I tried to watch Ruby, and it was like, I tell you what, don't send me the story. I don't want to hear these characters talk. Just send me the fight scenes. Like, show me the good stuff. I really like, even divorced of context. I would prefer to not have the context, frankly. It's better this way. Like, the reasons I imagined for why the characters were fighting the big monsters was often better than the reason they actually fought the big monsters. So. A Ruby abridged. I partly considered doing a Digital Circus abridged type of thing. Mainly just because I started thinking in my head about how comical it is that what's his face, the bunny rabbit guy has supposedly been around, or he's been in more or less hibernation for the past we need more springtime colors for the past you know, many decades or whatever, and I kind of like the idea of him like calling Pomni gay and then them being like, oh, you can't say that anymore, like that's not, we don't say that anymore. You're like, what? Yeah, no, it's like, so ever since like 2017, 18, I don't know exactly when, we kind of don't say, maybe 14. So it's not an insult. It's like, what? How come? what happened? Like, is it... And him just being like genuinely out of touch, like not... So just kind of imagine, like, I just kind of like the idea of like he has this set of, you know, very, very basic insults, and then just finding out that all of it's like politically incorrect now, and the world has changed, and even if he escaped from the circus, he couldn't be an edgy guy anymore. They'd be like, you gotta be edgy in new ways. These days, it's kind of more political edginess, honestly. But I thought that would be kind of amusing, and because it would be like a good setup, like just a good character setup, because then you could have like Ragatha. You know, can I even speak English anymore? Like, what is this? What do you mean? What do you mean? What slurs can I use? Well, technically none of them. Is this like a... No, hold on. And I haven't played Class of '09. I've seen it, but I do like the idea. Just like, no, hold on. What do you mean? Is this like your mom says I can't use the slurs, or is this like everybody has agreed that I can't use the slurs? Like, it can't be. When I got in this box, that was what everybody did. We don't use the slurs now. Okay, well, what do we do? What do we say when we don't like somebody? What do we say? What's the go-to thing? You're like, oh, it depends on... Like, are you a Democrat or a Republican? What difference does that make? Oh, dude, you have to understand. It's a huge difference now. You get different sets of slurs depending on which side of politics you're on. Like the idea of like Ragatha just being like, I think that's great. We shouldn't have slurs at all. And he'd be like, oh no, we still have slurs. We just use different slurs. It's not cool if you have to walk me through it, though. What if we just don't use slurs? No, I have to use them. Because they make you angry. So that conversation came to mind. But also a lot of other stuff, just because the story beats are a little bit clumsy in Digital Circus, so I kind of felt like there were a couple of areas that you could... just use swears. I do feel like, I mean, in this day and age, I kind of wonder if you would get in a lot of trouble from people as a result of making fun of something like Digital Circus. Just because fandoms are a little bit more vicious than they used to be. But, I mean, I don't know. Like, it would be... If it's funny enough and people have a good time, then you can get away with it. The main thing would be, like... I wouldn't, like, attack the series from a place of malice or anything like that. It would just be, like... This is funny. I hope other people find it funny. Has-been Hotel. I'm pretty sure people can talk badly about Has-been Hotel. Like, I'm pretty sure I've seen people talk badly about Has-been Hotel and get away with it. There is a fandom for it and everything, but it's not, like, sacred. Well, it's sacred to some people, but I mean, it's not sacred to most people, I would say. Okay, occurs to me. Should have saved this bottom thing for the shadow. But oh well. I mean, I wouldn't do... If I were going to do an abridged series on Has-Been, I would do it... I mean, you'd also want it to be from a place of, like... liking it, you know? Otherwise, it's... Otherwise, it's just malicious, and then people are kind of reasonably going to be angry. They're just like, you don't even really watch it. Murder Drones. I haven't watched Murder Drones. What are you even talking about? Some else? I know Murder Drones is like the other product made by the studio that does Digital Circus. There we go. There we have our little sprinkler robot. I don't know anything about an MLP infection in TikTok. I have no idea what something else is talking about. Sounds like you're probably a little too plugged in, my friend. We see it a lot these days, but whatever you're talking about, if you stop looking into it, it will go away, it sounds like. We give this recommendation a lot, actually. We see people who come in and they're clearly on the internet too often, and you know, really upset about what this or that internet personality is doing. But I mean, like, a lot of it's, how do I put it, like, anger is actually addictive. So, like, if you let yourself seek out things that are making you angry, you're never gonna, like, you're never gonna get away from the outrage. You're always just gonna be that, like, lady with the beehive haircut and the big glasses that used to appear in cartoons to, like, berate other people about things. Good. One thing you could try is if you, like, find like a really good book or something. Then instead of being on the internet and, you know, reading rage posts or whatever, you could read a book, which sounds maybe a little like trite. But I find I'm a lot happier, like, it's hard to find good books these days because I used to really like Discworld, and then, like, I read all the Discworld books, and then Terry Pratchett sadly passed away. So I've, you know, didn't know what else to read. I picked up Dune, but Dune didn't really grab me. The Fire and Ice series was really good. Or the Ice and Fire series was really good, and so that kept me for a while. I got, like, a book on Norse mythology, and I thought it was going to be the Norse myths, but it turned out it was just like a a fact book about, so it's just like an encyclopedia of like who are the Norse gods and what did they do, and it's kind of interesting, but it's not like that interesting. I got the Fire and Blood book by George R.R. Martin, and it's kind of like his Silmarillion. And unfortunately, just like the Silmarillion, it's really not that interesting of a read, because it's not, you don't get like into the emotions of anybody. It tends to be more like they did this and then they did that, and it's kind of just like not very exciting. Eisenhorn was really good. I got the Eisenhorn omnibus, and because it's an omnibus, it was like multiple books all together, and that was really good. Thinking about getting Gaunt's Ghosts next because it was written by Dan Abnett, and so I liked him. I thought he was a good author. But being unplugged in general would probably make you a happier soul. Not what I want you to do. Should be like left, right. Do I have you face down? Face up, I think. Turn up. Yeah. Okay. Let me get a close-up of this character here. I think it's like 144. Okay, let's close this. We don't really need to save that. Okay. Let's see, and we could give. Let's make Marina be neurotic. It's funny when our NPCs have brain problems. Variables. Seems like a lot of pony content. Should be listening to. And she just prattles it. Let me see here. I'm gonna get some more coffee. And there we go. That's the end of that. Run that to its conclusion. Neurotic sprinkler. Curious if that was possible. Oh, I know what it was. Okay. Thank you, Curly. Yeah, it's coming along. We are at the point where we're gonna start like doing battles and stuff like that. But I wanted to go back and make sure I got my my little Tinkerton NPCs and everything, so I don't forget about them and move on. We're not very far in, honestly. God dang. Okay. So if you hit it at just the right time, the character will turn regardless. Which is not ideal. Or rather, it's not what we want. So what we can do is create like dummy events. And we would just make it to where Marina doesn't actually talk to you. Of events. We'll put like Marina there, as long as Marina's. This is going to be how we have to do characters with animation. The battle system's actually got some unique stuff going for it. It's it is based on the hero system. So we've got a couple of things that are unique about it. So for one, you get to take more turns the faster your guy is. So if you've got like a speed of 30, you'll go 3 times, whereas a speed of 20 goes twice, pretty much. We've got different abilities that come from different pieces of equipment that you attach. I'm going to drop this item and put in auxiliary, I think. In fact, we might do that here in a second. Attempting to attack an enemy, will lower their evasion until they take an action. So you see the little target that was above that guy's head? He was down at like -3 evasion, so everyone that came after could have been would have had a better accuracy on that guy. So ganging up on one target makes it easier to kill him. This way we can have enemies with high evasion that then lose their evasion over time. So even though you miss, it's not a total wash. We've got like abilities that'll give bonuses to various things. This guy's gonna do like evaluations, and he's gonna tell you what your characters can and can't do. That's not gonna happen yet. I gotta program it. But anyway, though, energy recovers at the start of every turn. So you kind of like spend energy and then recover energy and stuff like that. So you've got to manage your energy spending. If you run out of energy, you're in trouble. At the beginning of the game, you'll get access to every weapon and item pretty much that you can possibly get. Just that some of them will be really expensive, and there's a law of diminishing returns. Things get exponentially more expensive. So, yeah, we got some unique stuff going on in there. It's a lot of it's kind of behind the scenes, so it will effectively play like a standard RPG. So there's not like a lot of relearning in the practical sense, but if you want to get deep into it, there's a lot of stuff you can get into. We're just gonna have our NPCs though set you up with. Let's see, where did we have a problem? Below characters, same as, oh, here. Same as characters, there we go. But yeah, anyway, the there'll be a good amount of stuff. We're gonna have an NPC that'll just like set you up with a recommended set of equipment though, so that way it won't be like, oh yeah, you better learn all these mechanics before you buy anything. It'll just be like, oh, give me all your money and equipment, and I'll just give you whatever should get you through the game. So that way you don't have to like learn it, you can just play. And that'll be easier for people who want to do that. But you can. Whoops, so okay, you're ready to get IntelliJ up. Which you can get more detailed with it if you want. So anyway though, we're gonna drop the item screen. I've got to find where that's listed. Okay. So we're just going to drop this. Been debating as to whether or not we wanted items for a little while, and I don't think that we do, because what I've decided on as I was chatting about this and thought it would be funny is if you had the ability to buy items, but it would be things like sandwiches, coffee, like things that you get from like the local store, and those would also have escalating costs, but then like NPCs would be like, oh, you have a sandwich, like I don't suppose, like I'll trade you like sandwich. So we've got this NPC here who's just all like, oh, I love water, I love watering plants. If you get like really expensive bottled water, then you can trade her a bottle of water, she'll give you a unique item. And so we won't have items. We'll just have auxiliary equipment. That's a body slam. And there we go. So everybody's gonna have this auxiliary type of thing, and that'll just be set up. Everybody's got it. And we will add a skill. We'll give everybody body slam. And this way, even if you take off all your gear, you can still throw yourself bodily at your opponent. I gotta wonder, what is the animation on that? But anyway, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. Okay. Let me see that auxiliary. So I wonder if, oh, because it adds state normal attack. That's probably why. And if I get rid of that, probably would be. Let's put auxiliary here. And then it should be that they'll swing their arms when we do that. Do it. Oh, because it's an attack command. Yeah, all right. Okay. I get it. It's the default attack command. It's got its own logic, its own internal logic. I could change it, but why bother? Thank you. Yeah, I got a couple of tracks. I can let them run if you want to hear how they sound like. I'll skip the. Well, we could run the title thing, but anyway, though. Is this gonna give us all of them? This is Zeke's theme. So the dog wants out. I'll be right back. It'll take like a day or two, and also a certain amount of inspiration. Like, I don't know, if I have a tune that I'm like, oh, I got a good tune, then I'll sit down and I'll punch it out on my little mini keyboard for my computer. Because I've got software that I can just kind of like play a keyboard into. And then this title screen, like, you can hear me just sitting here like, I actually just sat down at the keyboard and was just like until I got at something. And then I was like, that'll be how I do the title. It just kind of starts up and then I'll run it. And this is the title screen music. Let's see. I'm gonna get. About the little lawnmower guy. first like area, music for the first kind of zone you're gonna be in. This is for the city, which we haven't really built yet, but we're going to get into it later. This is our first boss song, first bit of boss music. And here's for our city. And that's what we got for music for now. Oh, actually, before I get started on this, I guess the tire should go underneath, because that way I can. Have him kind of like bounce up and down. So that as he's like trucking along, it'll look like he's. this little stickery bit there. Oops. Got the wrong thing. Here we go. Alright, let's make this guy like a fun, maybe like a fire truck red or something like that. I want to get my little racing stripe too. But we'll get to that in a second. Oops, wrong layer. One of my items that I need to get to is I showed my son there's like a little slide in a park, a little frog slide, and like the first thing he asked me was like, can I go down the frog slide? So we need to go back and do that here at some point as well. And the important deal is we gotta get these NPCs because they'll come and go as the game goes along. So it'll be nice if I have them all finished and like ready to roll. For some reason I expected this to be like above that other thing, but for some reason it's not. There we go. Let's give him like a blue stripe. A fun blue stripe. Makes him go faster, see? Racing stripes. Actually, we probably ought to put some highlights on there. Too bright. Oh, come on. There we go. Then we got mow. Mow does one thing. He mows the lawn. Okay, why does mow do that though? I don't know. That's upsetting. No, okay. It's not a big deal. It's too late. Didn't realize I had the sketch like that. Okay. Anyway, though. Oops. Out of here. And Mo needs a shadow. There we go. Okay. Anyway, let's see if I can just do that. There we go. Okay, so there's default Mo. Let's have Mo come up a little bit. This mow should have like grass clippings coming out of his back so that we know that he's doing his job. Okay, and then we can export that and we will have mow. Then no matter what, we'll just have mow always face the same direction, and he'll just do a walking animation everywhere he goes. Now, mow is actually violating some rules that we have about perspective. Our perspective rules are very weird with RPG Maker. Mow is breaking them in spite of that. In spite of the existing weirdness. So let's say, let's go 1, 2, 3, mow. Don't do that. Block sheet. And we're in portraits. We've got 5. Mow. Mow. Now let's see, do we want to put mow there in the park? Put mow right here. All right, mow, your route is going to be move left and move left. What do we do? One more left and then move right, right, right. And that's your life, mow. That's what you do. And direction phase. Let's see how he looks. That looks okay. All right, so Mo will talk to you. What am I going to say to you? Mo will inform you he's mowing, of course. It's one of the things that he does, is he mows. Well, what's an interesting conversation for Mo? Let's make it another stupid conversation. Those are my favorite types of conversations. Like the vibe? Thank you, Obsidian. Yeah, like I said, hope it's gonna be like a fun, like, oh boy. Everything's kind of wacky and funny, and we're gonna. I want you to care about these creatures and then beat them to death. And so if they're cartoony and funny and neurotic and the vibe is cool, then that's what I'm going for. look, when it's gonna be like you slap the cartoon and you laugh. Yeah, perfectly natural. It's funny. It's funny when an anvil falls on them. Their heads flatten out. We got plans. Our first monster is a slime, but he's like a slime in a tie, and I was planning on having him like congratulate you on how effectively you're killing him. Just like, wow, this is really good. You're very good at this. There we go. More neurotic machines. Just like this is, they've all got. I want to make it clear that all of these machines have weird ways of thinking of the world. They're focused on anything. Very stupid conversation with the lawnmower. And there we go. A brief but stupid conversation with the lawnmower that you can have. Here's himself to the mighty alligator. Something broke. 1, 2, 4. Oh, that's where we are. That's where we broke it. Three, 4, 4. Okay. Mo's not really going anywhere with this, but I want to make sure that we can talk to him. Be appeal of the game. Alright, Mo. Tell us your life story. There he goes. Let's see. If we want any more NPCs. I mean, like, only thing I can think of would be something to put in the street, but what kind of, like, job would you do in the street? That much I don't know. We do want to go ahead and get this, do I have a sweeper? There will be a sweeper. I didn't want to bust him out yet, but yes, I have a sweeper named Sweeps, who was designed previously. He's like a little guy with a bandana and like a pair of sunglasses, and he's got like Sweeps written on the side of him. He looks like he thinks he's cool. He's got like a little. He's like a goofy looking little dude. I was thinking of having Sweeps. Sweeps might go up and down the city area. I guess Sweeps could be. He could be in like the neighborhood, and then he just like will leave and be in the city later on. Get this frog. We're kind of running short on time. I got to do like a half day today, and then yeah, Sweeps the reoccurring NPC. Yeah, I gotta get my podcast recorded. Honestly, I gotta get like 3 podcasts recorded, or try to at least 2. I'm going out of town at the start of October, and I'll be gone next Friday. So it'd be good to get something for that. But let me see here. Close this out. Oh, no, I don't think we want to save that because we changed the angle on it. I'm gonna use the restroom. Okay, I am thinking we probably have enough time to do the animation for that frog. Like we got about 15 minutes, but we already have rigs and everything. We already have the frog. It should be doable, so let me... Might be doable. Exterior objects. Oops, tiles. CDEF. The heck did I name this thing? Spinner. Oh, I just named it slide. Okay. So we're gonna have to change the canvas size. We gotta add another 46. No, another 48 pixels to it. Okay, and we'll export that. And nothing could go wrong. It'll be fine. It'll be great. Okay, and then actually, we're gonna want a reference image of the player character next to the frog so I can make sure it's lined up properly. Go. Can I see? We'll shrink this down. Get like a so that's about, it's close to correct. So he will be about that size, and knowing that, we can then go in and do an animation for it. Morning, Talkie. We're going down the slide today. Or we hope, at least. Let me see. What does this become? 288 by 192. All right. Scene settings then. 288 by 192, and then this will give us everything we need. We're gonna import our frog, change this to pass through. Import images. We want interior tiles. Oh no, exterior tiles. Slide. Open these. Right, layers. Okay, we'll grab both of these here and make them about the size of the thing. Are we there? Have we nailed it? I think we have. All right. Then we'll take our hero and let's see, what's the best angle for him? Probably this one. Just drop him on in there. Let's bring him forward just a little bit. About 3, 5, 8. There we go. Achievement unlocked. Never grow up. Okay, so he's gonna be like about that big. Yeah, about that big. Yeah, Steam achievements never grow up. Put the gun out of the way. Let me see, should we put them up higher? Oops. Maybe like right up at the top and we have 12 frames to work with if we want this to be like a single NPC sheet. Okay, and here's the part where this is... well, if it goes on Steam, it would theoretically have achievements. Oh, and I don't have any of the previously drawn images, so that's a bit of a drawback, but... I think I have to keep setting my thing up higher. Show claws. That was more less painful than I expected it to be. I feel like I draw hands and I generally expect them to torture me. That was pretty quick. I must be getting very good at drawing robot hands. I better not say that, or otherwise I'll find myself struggling horrifically here in like a second, I bet. Okay, metal. Actually, speaking of his hands, oh, I do still have a drawing. I can go back and look. Okay, so his hands are like, of course, it's like that. Oh yeah, you need the cards. You need the achievements and the cards. I thought that achievements were mandatory on Steam. I might be wrong, but I thought that you couldn't. I thought that there was no negotiation on it. Hang on here. I think I've been drawing these hands pretty inconsistently. No, that is correct. That is how I've been doing it. Okay. The guy is so small you won't even really be able to see that. Will not really make a difference. Okay. I have him up here. This could actually change because we want to make it clear he's like on the slide. Okay, so he'll like sit up there on the slide for a while. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's say for like 6 frames, and then he'll, I think, go down, but with the front facing. And also, what are we doing here? Frame 7. Well, I'm not sure where did I adjust my Z layer at? Was it here? No? What the heck? Somewhere, somehow, I brought him forward. Oh, here it is. Okay, let's see. So we need to get down to his proper size, which is a little bigger than that. It's about like there. Shrink it down just a tad. he have the... Oh, I don't have any of his things. But he's... Okay, so he's gonna like... Shrink his legs down real small. Have him kind of splay out. Let's bring him up a little bit. Whoops. Mainly so that I can still have his arm be somewhere around here instead of like... Okay, let's get that hand. Okay. It's okay for it to change a little bit. Because here we go. Wonder if we should do like an even happier expression than as usual. Like, what a wonderful time I'm having. Me want to make this game. I mean, it's something that like I've always really liked RPG Maker and stuff like that. I used to play with RPG Maker back when I was young, and around when I had my son, I figured maybe I would have like it'd be harder to do recording and stuff like that because you know I've got a baby in the house. But maybe if I worked on something like a game, it's less dialogue heavy, but still like I could do my animation and music and everything else. But turns out, baby is just requires lots and lots of attention, broadly speaking. So there was no like, oh yeah, I'll just not, you know, do baby. So I wound up not being able to actually work on the RPG game like I planned. Kind of shelved it for a while. Because you might recall I did like an announcement. I was like, I'm going to do an RPG game. And then just nothing happened with it. It was like a really never had a baby before. Never had a baby before. But now I don't have a baby anymore. crushes his mom to hear it, but he's really not. He's getting to be a big kid. Bigger smile. Oh, let me get the shadow again. We'll probably bring this back. We'll like have him come down this way. I don't think I can really. Oh, I guess I can. No, that's not how that would work. Do like this. We'll get our too big maybe. And also not rounded enough. Although, speaking of kids and everything like that, one of the reasons why we're doing this slide is expressly because when Miles saw the game, he's asked me again too. He's like well aware of it. He's just like, can you go down the slide yet? And you know, it's like that's what's important to him. He knows. He's like, we got to go down that slide. If we can't go down the slide, what's the point of anything? Let's do it like that. Okay, I want the hand. Thank you. Yeah, he saw that frog slide and he was just like, we have to go down the frog slide. We have to be able to. So we're getting this frog slide. I want to worry about it looking good, but I have seen how tiny the sprite actually is, and it's basically like the fine details will not be noticeable. The highlights will be basically invisible. Oops. I mean, there are some limits. Some things will appear a little bit better than others, but a lot of this is going to be very... very, very, very hard to see if you can see it at all. Let me see. We didn't finish this in 15 minutes, actually. Let's see, how about if I do like here? Let's tuck his legs up a little bit more. Kids do know fun. Yes. Let me see, put down his legs here. Should have known that was going to happen. Ooh, that might be too fast. There we go, that's a little better. I'm gonna use the restroom again. I think actually this needs some anticipation of the movement. Let me do that. Okay, so we're gonna like lean back. Everything else stays where it is, basically. And then I think we're going to want to like lean forward and sort of just can't see this dang thing. There we go. Okay, actually, so we need to come out a little bit because we gotta make sure the eyes follow the motion properly. There we go. I think that looks good. We want that a little smoother. Actually, I think I moved the legs down, so we'll keep those up. Keep those up where they were for now. Make a copy of this. Just shade, middle shade. Oh, Jackal's asked, this is late, but how's it like having a kid? I mean, it's always changing. Like everything's always different. It's never the same. So in one day, yeah, you're being berated for not doing his pizza properly, but on another day, you know, he's good. And there's just different challenges, different parenting things that happen all the time. hopefully that'll be good. Let's see, because he does need to kind of exit off the slide. Like that. There we go. He kind of angles with the slide. Okay. Let's adjust the eyes. Make him look a little happier. Got a great big smile, it'll make his eyes come up. There we go, happy times. All right, this is our frog slide animation, I think. So with any luck, I can export this. We will assets. Slide. Oop. Enough of an anticipation? It's enough. Okay. It'll be fine. That'll be enough. I worry because the sprite's gonna be so small. You're maybe not even gonna notice that, the little anticipation. Dog's making me nervous. She's crying a lot. I can't tell if it's just she's anxious or she needs out. Come on. Do you need outside? Do you need to go outside? No? Are you just nervous because you're alone? Okay, there's no spot for you. It's just doggy anxiety. Okay. What's this? 288 by 192. 3. This is like a great big file. 64. 768. Sadness, oh goodness, this mournful cry. I am almost done for the day. At least done with this anyway. Slide. I'll go through all this, I'll show my son, he'll be like, neat, and then that'll be it, because it's like you can go down the slide. Well, he'll actually want to go down the swings, that's the other thing, he wants to play on the swings. When can I play on the swings? Oh, 760, is that correct? 92 times 4? Oh, it is, okay. 2, 3, it doesn't look correct. $288 by $192. Good. Yeah. Oh, I guess actually it is because he's down at the bottom at the end there. All right. Okay, so in theory, if I take this frog slide animation, that'd be there. Maya. Okay, all right, there's that. Unit 1 animation, this could be 1. Oops, the way I've done this is not great. Well, we'll just use variables to change his animation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Six, 7, 8, 9. Are we done? Is that it? Is that all of them? That's all of them. Okay. Okay. There we go. All right, so you select this and same as characters, action button. Gather followers, we'll give it like wait for like, I don't know, 20 frames, fragment of a second, so we can gather our followers, and then we will there's like a set player invisible button. Character trace, transparency on. Transfer player to here. Set variable. To 1. Okay, and then we'll just like wait for, how long did I give it for this? It was like one, 2, 3, 4, 5. Six. Well, 6. I don't know why I needed to count it out. We'll give it 15 seconds of waiting. We'll change our variable to 2. And we will wait about 3 seconds. 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we will player off, and we will set this back to 0. And we'll see how that looks. And actually, as long as I'm in here, I don't remember. Let's reset animation state. We'll put that at the end of like every animation. 6 through 10. Right. Yeah, 6 through 10. Set to 0. Okay. And I can call that at the end of every thing. What does it go to animation state 5 here? Oh. Alright, back at the park. Then we want to turn followers back on. Gather followers, wait about 20 seconds. Turn followers off. And there we are. We are going to want to start from the beginning and look at some of this stuff here. So when I change that cutscene after already saving over it. But okay. Good frog slide. That kind of works, except for we get a fade. I don't really want a fade. No fade, please. Transfer players. Do not fade. No fading. Thank you. This needs to be maybe above characters. Can I do that? Oh, I'll have to change it on everything. Probably have you move once on that. Let me just double check on Zeke here. Sure that cutscene's still working. Okay, that still works. Okay, for this, set movement routes for the player. Change speed to like faster, and he moves down, and then change speed. Normal, it moves down one more time. We'll see how that works. Maybe do that. Animation on. Just like for the... I don't know why the player doesn't walk there. Okay. Get the best we can get. Okay, I think I liked it better when you ran a little further down. If I change speed to like slower and then change speed to normal. Also, conditional branch. Let's have it where that only works if you're facing down. Oh, what the heck. There we go. more. That's a little too fast. I'm trying to kind of find that like perfect spot for this, and then we'll just have to settle for like whatever works best, because the speed settings are only just like fast or normal. You don't get a lot of options. Okay. What if that gather followers? Because they just kind of like appear behind me, which is a little awkward. Okay, weird. It's a little bit of a problem. I'm surprised that the gather followers situation doesn't. All right, now we go down the slide. Ta-da! We did it. All right, so now it's time for me to get some lunch, and then I'm gonna work on the podcast. So that's it. Thanks for joining me, you guys. What is today? Thursday. So we'll be back again tomorrow. Yep. Guys, have a good night. Good night. Good day. Whatever the case.